All right, and so what we would do in this facility, like I mentioned, it's actually made to send the cattle straight up here, but we're going to use this loadout as a pseudo bud box. And so we're going to bring these heifers in here. They'll go into that little pen there. We'll come by and we'll swing this gate shut. And then what that allows us to do is step right over here and we can spin those cattle around us and up into the lead up. So we take a set of facilities that weren't actually designed to be used this way, but with the slight modification, we can actually make the facilities work better for us. The way it was actually built by the gentleman who used to have this property was for the cattle to come in here and they would turn and come up the alleyway that way. The problem is cattle don't like to come make that turn. What they do when they come in here and see that gate, they want to turn around and come back out. What this part over here was actually designed to be used for, it's actually designed to be used to load out a trailer, is what it was designed for. But what you can do, whether you built a set of facilities or you're helping somebody else or you buy a piece of property with facilities already on them, is look and see how could I use those facilities differently. And so we could actually use, if you've heard of the bud box concept on moving cattle, where we actually take them past where we want them to go and let them flow back into where we want them to go, we can use this. Now this little area right here is a little smaller than what we'd ideally like to have on a bud box if we were building it for that reason. But just by opening this gate up and letting these cattle transition past us, we can actually use this little loadout area for a bud box. And what we do is we'll come back over here once the cattle come past in there. We'll shut this gate, and so now we use this area as a bud box and we can spin those heifers back around us and go back up the alleyway into the squeeze chute. One thing when we talk about cattle and people talk about cattle being wild, a lot of that is how those cattle are handled. And cattle have a long memory, so even though we're running some calves through here at 2 to 3 months of age, you may not think about what you do now having an influence on them, but it does have an influence even at this age, especially when we start talking about it weaning. From weaning to a year of age on those replacement heifers is a real critical time to educate those heifers on how you want to handle them and what you want to do. And if you do it right, it'll make your life a whole lot easier. If you get wild and rough with them, it's always going to give you more problems with those cattle down the road. So even when they're little, we want to be calm and quiet and start working on those good, effective stockmanship techniques.